Oradour-sur-Glane was a small French village in the Limousin region that became the site of one of the most infamous massacres of World War II. Background of the massacre: the massacre occurred on June 10, 1944, when the village was brutally attacked and destroyed by a unit of the Nazi SS, resulting in the deaths of hundreds of innocent civilians. Events leading to the massacre. Occupation of France. Following the German occupation of France in 1940, Oradour-sur-Glane fell under German control, like many other towns and villages across the country. Resistance activity. The French resistance movement was active in the region, carrying out sabotage and guerrilla attacks against German forces, leading to increased tensions between the occupiers and the local population. The massacre. Arrival of the SS. On the morning of June 10, 1944, a detachment of SS soldiers from the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich arrived in Oradour-sur-Glane under the pretext of searching for weapons and members of the resistance. Gathering of villagers. The SS rounded up the villagers, including women and children, and herded them into the town square, claiming they were conducting an identity check. Separation of men and women. The SS then separated the men from the women and children, leading the men to various locations in the village, including barns and garages, under the guise of conducting interrogations. Massacre in the barns. The men were systematically executed by machine gun fire and grenades in the barns where they were held, while the women and children were locked in the church, which was later set on fire. Total destruction. After the massacre, the SS proceeded to systematically destroy the entire village, setting fire to buildings and homes and looting whatever valuables they could find. Aftermath and investigation. Discovery of the massacre. The massacre was discovered later that day by Allied forces advancing through the area, who found the smoldering ruins of the village and the charred remains of its inhabitants. International outrage. News of the massacre sparked international outrage and condemnation, highlighting the brutality of the Nazi regime and its disregard for civilian life. Investigation and trials. Following the end of the war, surviving SS soldiers involved in the massacre were identified, captured, and brought to trial for war crimes, although many of them escaped justice. Rebuilding and memorialization. Rebuilding efforts. In the years following the war, the village of Oradour-sur-Glane was rebuilt nearby, while the original ruins were preserved as a memorial to the victims of the massacre. Memorial Center. Today, the Oradour-sur-Glane Memorial Center stands as a testament to the tragedy that occurred, serving as a place of remembrance and education about the horrors of war. Legacy and lessons learned. Symbol of resistance. The massacre at Oradour-sur-Glane remains a symbol of the French resistance and the sacrifices made by ordinary citizens in the fight against tyranny. Reminder of the cost of war. The ruins of Oradour-sur-Glane serve as a sobering reminder of the human cost of war and the atrocities committed in the name of ideology.